Agreed. All right, so moving on to our next topic at hand. Give me a second here, guys. Paste. Boom. Tweet this out. Speaking of Microsoft, let me see. Can I do this? Let's see. Allow me? Oh, I should take that back. No, hang on. Before Microsoft. That's right. That's everything I have in here. Switching topics. Okay. So, recently, as some of you may or may not know, SNK's 40th anniversary is this year. 40 years of SNK games have been around for quite some time. This one I find interesting just for the fact that, like, I'm curious to see what it looks like and what it will be. But SNK recently announced on, this is actually reported off of DualShockers.com. SNK announces new console with popular Neo Geo classics. SNK just announced an upcoming console featuring its major brands from the Neo Geo era to celebrate its 40th anniversary. It's written by what is that? I cannot pronounce the name. Sorry. Gaispe Novel.
You also can't spell the word there.
Oh. Ha. I'm gonna leave it there. Fuck you guys. The classic.
Yeah, that's professional.
The classic console fever seems to be in all-time height, and SNK is about to reveal its own, as the company announced today on Twitter. According to the brief announcement, the new console will be launched this year to celebrate the company's 40th anniversary. The tweet hints at Neo Geo classics like The King of Fighters, Fatal Fury, Samurai Showdown, and Metal Slug. At the moment, no other information was provided besides the invitation to stay tuned for further news down the line. While we have no precise info, this is likely to be another sort of mini console like the NES and NES Classic Edition by Nintendo and the newly announced Mega Drive Mini by Sega. And I'll post a link in the chat for those who want to read the entire article. But SNK coming out with, hey, we got a mini console too at some point for the Neo Geo, and play or classic SNK games. So I find it.
This is basically the a plug and play console, right?
I would assume so. Just like in like
probably play classics. Like I figure that's the case.
Yeah, I just find it funny that so in this year we're getting a Sega Genesis Mini, and then an SNK is doing their Neo Geo Mini per se, and they are essentially just plug and play, which you know
I fucking guarantee you Nintendo will come out with a Nintendo 64 one this year.
You think so? You think they're gonna drop it down like during E3 conference? Like, hey, N64. But even then, like, if we can go down the N64 route, like, there aren't that many great games on there. Like,
well, to you and I agree with you on that. But like, you argue with somebody and they're like, Banjo-Kazooie and Donkey Kong 64 are the best games ever, and I'm just like, I bet you also like Ed, Edd n Eddy, and they're like, okay,
yeah, it's
you have terrible taste.
You can email your letters to Greg at
I don't think that all the games on the 64 are bad. I do think that, like, when you talk about the better games, you know, Mario 64 is definitely up there. That's a playable game. It's fun. It's a fun game. But like, what other games are really fucking solid on there?
Star Fox 64.
Star Fox 64 is fantastic on there.
Yeah.
Did Metroid Prime start on the 64?
No,
or was that a GameCube?
That's GameCube. Maybe Jet Force Gemini is probably which one you're thinking of on 64, which was not bad.
No, Jet Force Gemini is awful. I played that in the rare.
That wasn't that. Yeah, well, I played
it in the rare replay pack and it's pretty bad.
I had rose tinted glasses that one. GoldenEye 64 is another good one. Yeah.
No.
Really? You're saying
if you play GoldenEye 64 with like modern controls, it would be good, but due to the fact that it has single stick movement, so like let's say you want to turn, So you just hold left on the joystick and the character turns, but you can't move in turn.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the controller was very much a weird controller of its time when it came to Nintendo. I mean, it introduced the first joystick per se, but at least when it comes to the consoles. But and 64 is really good. I mean, GoldenEye 64 is really good. I mean,
I'm gonna look up.
And I have heard.
Let's see. Google. If I type in best, not Nintendo 64 games. Let's see what you list. So we got Mario 64, GoldenEye, Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yes. Mario Kart 64. Ugh, I prefer other Mario Karts to that one. The original Smash Brothers would be cool to go back and play and see how different it is.
Yeah, it's chunky as hell though.
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Yeah.
Ooh, Diddy Kong Racing was solid.
Yeah, that was good.
The original Paper Mario, Majora's Mask. F-Zero X.
Ooh, yeah.
Let's see. Pokemon Snap.
Yes, God, yes. Oh.
Kirby the Crystal Shard. Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards.
Yeah.
Ooh, Star Wars Rogue Squadron.
Ooh, yeah.
Blast Corps was okay. Yoshi Story was fun. Turok. 1080 Snowboarding. Pilot Wing 64. Mario Tennis. Let's see what else is there. Ooh, the Mario parties. There was a lot. I think there was 3 on there.
We played Mario Party too, so I'm pretty sure we had fun with that.
Who are you telling that it had a joystick? Who are you talking to?
Oh, he's talking to me because I forgot. Atari did have a joystick before the N64. You're right. No, I stand corrected. So there are definitely some games out there on the N64 that are good, but in terms of like the entire library of what they have, like most of them are pretty crap, at least in my opinion. But there are some.
Look. Here's the thing. I can confidently say that if I was to go back and play some Nintendo 64 games, the ones that I would enjoy are Mario 64, Super Smash Brothers, Star Fox 64, Paper Mario, F-Zero's a solid one, Kirby 64, Rogue Squadron, Yoshi Story, the ones that I think are good.
Right.
And that's the thing is, like, I mean, they even have like fucking Pod Racer on here, which is
that was great.
That's a solid game, regardless it's pod racing.
Yeah.
Mischief Makers is a fantastic game. I'm just saying, not all games on the 64 are bad. I just think that the controller's fucking terrible. I hate the fucking controller. It's just the worst. I actually don't think Ocarina of Time is that good of a Zelda game, and I've never played Majora's Mask, so I can't qualify that one.
Right. Okay. In regards to SNK, when it comes to their mini, whenever they announce it, I think they're more restricted in terms of like what games they can put on there. Are pretty much, I think, all SNK games.
Okay, is this is Neo Geo games, correct?
Yes, I have a list actually right here of Neo Geo games right in front of me right now. I would like to see like the entire Metal Slug series on there. That'd be great. I would like to see Windjammers because that was on Neo Geo. That was pretty awesome.
Question about Windjammers. Have you ever played a game called damn it, something disc? It's on the Switch now. It's on the PlayStation.
It's not. It's a very different game than Windjammers. It's maybe influenced by it, but it's definitely a far different game than that. And between those two, I'd rather play Windjammers.
I disagree.
Really? Huh.
Mm-hmm. I think the way that game plays to Windjammers is far inferior.
Really?
Way more simple. Simple. There's subtlety to the other disc golf game, like spinning the joystick and direction on where you throw the disc and being able to slide, and then like how you can get your power, and like it's just a better game. Now we're talking about a game that came out in 1994 versus a game that came out like last year.
Yeah.
So it's not a totally fair comparison. However, I would like to see Windjammers on the Neo Geo Classic. I'm just saying,
Yes.
if you can't get the Neo Geo Classic, there's one that's just as good.
In some people's opinion, but yes. I would throw in there before time runs out, Samurai Showdown too. Oh, man, that'd be
absolutely
great. Yes.
Any of the Neo Geo fighting games, really, I think.
Yeah, definitely. King of Fighters, absolutely. What was it? There was that. There was Garu, Mark of the Wolves, another good one. But essentially, yeah. So they're going to be probably, if more than anything, E3 will see more information about this, and we'll find out, more information, how much it costs, and what games are going to be on it. So, but yeah, we live in a weird time. We live in a weird time.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so now I can go on to the next topic I was a little too hasty on. All right. So our next topic at hand is, speaking of Microsoft,
I've seen this kind of work before.